Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of our Community Access. No, I'm not Bill Service, I'm Terry Stiles. This week we have a new business coming to our Oxford area, and Russell Curry was there for the groundbreaking of the new Memory Care Center in the village. Then we have a special section about a special luncheon and an award given by the Oxford Rotary Club to our very own Bill Service. Join us while we find out some little known facts about Bill. We have a special section about a special luncheon and an award given by the Oxford Rotary Club to our very own Bill Service.
You know, I told you before that we are Rotary, and there's about 35,000 clubs like this all over the world. And we do have local agenda as well as international agenda. And the international agenda is, the biggest one is trying to get rid of polio. And I think we have succeeded now. We don't have any more polio in the world, except little packets out in Afghanistan and what else? Afghanistan and little in Africa, because we can't go there because of some of the problems that we have with the war. So anyway, in our local club, we try to help people's lives. In some ways, we help them live better lives. And today we have a guest that we believe that deserves to be given the award as a charity idols of Rotary. And that is, of course, Bill Service. We don't give awards every year. In fact, the last time we gave award, Brian, is about 2012, right? Correct. So this is a special award, Mr. Service, and I would like to have Brian take over here and introduce you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Rotary Room at Oxford Public Library. I just want to point out, before I introduce Bill, there's a couple things I want to point out. One is this display case over here to my right, on the left side of the room for most of you. Bill Service has joined the ranks of many other people in our community who have received the J.E. Meads Award in the past, and his name has joined those names as of yesterday afternoon. In addition to that, our original charter is in this room, so you can see that too if you have time before you leave. That information is over there as well. In the front of the room, because aside from being in Rotary and being the library director, I'm also the current president of the Northeast Oakland Historical Society Museum here in Oxford. And so I got to thinking this morning, kind of late in the game, but better late than never, that I would go over to the museum and pick up Dr. Meads' dental tools and bring them over to Rotary today. Since we are honoring a person in our community who is very deserving of the G.E. Meads Award, I thought it was only fitting that we brought over his dental tools to have them on display as well. So they are up here in the front. So aside from being a Rotarian, he was our charter president of the Oxford Rotary Club. He was a local dentist in the community, and for someone who come from the University of Michigan, myself, he was a graduate of the University of Michigan, so go blue. As our president stated earlier, this award is not something that we just arbitrarily give out lightly. And so it is a very distinguished honor that we were able to narrow our field of candidates down to one. And that person, I think, is most deserving of this award. Bill Service has been a member of our community for a long time, and although I've only known Bill for probably maybe 8 or 10 years in my involvement through OCTV, as the Oxford Public Library was one of the charter members of the local Oxford television. Bill at the time worked in many capacities, but he wasn't the manager of OCTV at the time. We had a few managers come and go through my tenure on the board of directors at OCTV. But, you know, there was one person kind of behind the scenes that never really did anything for the credit, but rather did it for the good of the people of this community. And as we saw managers come and go, it was kind of a shame that for whatever reason we weren't able to recognize that we had the best person for that job right among our ranks. And so later, we had the honor of inviting Mr. Service to become the next station manager of OCTV, and I have to say, he has taken OCTV leaps and bounds from where it was back when I was on the board there. He's done an excellent job at building teams and bringing local talent together to do great things for this community, not just through OCT, but at OCTV, but rather his involvement in the American Legion as well. So we're very grateful for the contributions that Bill Service has given us, and it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Mr. Bill Service to the podium. So, the plaque that I have to present you with today is the GE Meads Award, and it's presented to William L. Service for his years of dedication as station program manager at Oxford Community Television, recognized this 24th day of April 2018 by the Oxford Rotary Club. Of course, you've done so much more, but this is just a small token of appreciation for what you've done for us.
Thank you so much, Brian. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. We got to go. You know, my brother, Pastor Bob, 2 other pastors around here, by the way. Pastor Bob, he's Social Security number 4. He's older than I am. I'm only number 12. But his job, I always told him, he saves people, he marries people, or buries them, one or the other. But I think of his genes fell into me a little bit. I really like people. I like people a lot. I try to help people. When I came to the station here, we were struggling a little bit. My friend Terry Stiles, my production manager, tied up with me pretty good, and we started going with things like my life and people's lives and talking to the preachers. That's what we did around here too, telling them what's going around. So all of our programs are now all local. Only have 3 programs that are not local. 5 years, you can think about the station we had on YouTube, maybe 2 people. Now this month we're getting 12,000 plus every month. And 1,000 people scrubbed for YouTube. You double on to Facebook, so we've got thousands of people now watching us. We appreciate that. We love you folks. I'm so excited. So I'm done. Thank you.
Before you go, I'd like to invite the officers, please, to come up. So I think the next part of the program, before we have our group picture, make sure that you comb your hair a little bit. We have a few people that would like to say something about Bill Service. Could you come up, please?
Thank you.
Be nice.
Mostly. Again, I'm Bethany Spencer, and I'm Bill's daughter. And I feel like I have a whole other perspective of him than you all do, because I knew him back in the day when he managed an ABC affiliate station in Kentucky, and I got to see all kinds of exciting things through my teenage years, mostly in the 80s. And I just wanted to read you a few things that I wrote. We all know the Nike slogan that says, "Just do it." This is exactly how my dad operates. If you have an idea, however crazy it may sound, just do it. We don't need to know everything about how to do it. Just start planning and see what happens. He has always said, "You'll never know until you try." My dad definitely followed this mantra in the business world, but even more so regarding community service. As a teenager in the 80s, again, I do remember a few bits and pieces. One of the big events every year was the Jerry Lewis Telethon, and it was filmed live from my dad's station every year. And the show would go back and forth between Jerry's program and the local stations. And there would be lots of volunteers. And of course, I was volunteered. I didn't have a choice. I can't remember exactly what I did, but there was this one year that my dad thought it would be a grand idea to take the local portion at the mall in Lexington, Kentucky. I was 16, the mall, where the teenagers go, where people could see me, and they would work on this telethon for a whole weekend with little to no sleep. I think the exhaustion made my dad even a bit more lenient, and that one year at the mall, he decided to pull me into the show to make a point at the last minute in front of the whole world. Not really, but for me, as a 16-year-old, I was horrified. The station did so well, though, for a great purpose, and it was a really fun time. Another time, I woke up in Kentucky again to the sound of engines and laughter coming from my front lawn. I get myself together, walk outside, and there are over 50 motorcyclists eating lunch in the yard. I did not see that coming. I later found out that this was also another way my dad would help out with fundraising for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. There's so much more. The year he and his crew met up with the Kentucky Wildcat, Go Big Blue, basketball team in Hawaii, just to make sure that the folks at home could see an important tournament via satellite. Also the time he helped out the small town of Hazard, Kentucky by doing news stories on the issues that miners faced in the area. He got a key to the city of Hazard. A key to Hazard, Kentucky, of all things. I don't even know if you've heard of it, maybe the Dukes of Hazzard. The other time he took a risk to help out our home church in Lexington get the message out to those homebound. Along with the pastors and financial supporters, his station was able to start taping and presenting the church services on local TV. Currently, the church's services are seen all over the world, and Southland Christian Church has grown enormously. My favorite dad adventure was how he created an amazing Christmas parade and tree lighting in downtown Lexington. A beautiful tree was donated and delivered. My dad always went all out. He invited the governor, everybody came from all over. It was a grand celebration. The first year my dad conversed with me about what I would be doing in the parade. There was no, "Would you like to be an elf on the Santa Claus float?" It was more like, "So, we're having a televised Christmas parade, wear this." And I never questioned my father. I was an elf with pointy shoes and everything. The parade is still going strong to this day. There's still so much I don't know about all of my father's ideas, adventures, and all the ways he has given to the community. It's not because my dad is hiding it from me or doesn't want me involved. It's because these adventures have always been. The spotlight is generally not on him at all. It's on those he serves. And my dad was the best role model for me, showing the example of kindness. I have always seen him, with great confidence, walk up to each person, whatever their abilities, background, economic status, skin color, it does not matter. He has always shown me to give them a chance, to respect them, give them a smile and a handshake. I have learned that loving others and doing what I can to help in this world is part of a normal life. It's how I function today and how in turn I've taught my 3 sons. Dad, I'm proud to be your daughter, and congratulations on this special recognition today.
I haven't known Bill as long as Bethany, but I've seen that side of him. And she got me started crying. And so when you think about community service and what it means, you could toss the words around: support, promotion, guardianship, compassion, belief, strength, mentor, encouragement, courage, motivation, humility, and vitality. The J.E. Meads Award is given in honor of community members who exemplify significant contributions to the community. Having known and worked with Bill for over 14 years, I've seen him wear these qualities like a comfortable flannel shirt. Yet, when he first learned he was selected for this award, he was humbly shocked because these qualities are an everyday routine for Bill. There's so much to be said about Bill's service, his kindness in the face of adversity, such as when a veteran or a child is in need of support. Bill's the one who will motivate the community attention to the financial or promotional support needed. With his leadership ability and his veteran and guardian of veterans, Bill gives his time and broadcasting expertise to promote community recognition, ensuring our veterans at the American Legion Post 108 are not forgotten and always in the face of our community. With his experience and compassionate drive, Bill is making sure our community has a voice as he leads the success of Oxford Community Television, because local health, news, and welfare of our community is paramount to him. I've witnessed him offer support and confidence to both individuals and organizations who face challenges which seem unbeatable, and yet also seem to have the courage to cut their losses. I've seen him have the courage to cut losses in order to move on in innovative, vital ways. He's neither afraid to fail nor a celebrator of his own success, but a champion for the belief in the rest of us. He is my mentor and a mentor to many, we are all very lucky to have him by our side in this community. Sorry, you started that.
I think there was one more, correct? One more. Two more? Okay. Come on up. These clocks, by the way, are fast in this room, so it's not really what time it says it is.
Well, I'm not very tall, so my speech won't be long. And I took speech class in high school, which was a long time ago, and found no matter what I wrote down, something else came out of my mouth. So I didn't write anything down. When I first met Bill, I said, well, I know a man named Bob. He said, oh, that's my brother. And I had met Bob Service a long time ago, very nice man, from the Addison Farming Club. But when I first met Bill, it was with the cable station and with the American Legion. And I think they asked me to come today because I've been on the Cable Commission longer than anybody else. And I have seen station managers come and go. And so with that, there's many different styles of leadership and personalities. The one thing I've observed with Bill is kind. Bill pays a lot of attention to detail, and he's done a very good job both with the American Legion and with the cable station. And it's been a very big pleasure to know Bill. He's a kind, warm, loving man. And when there's been times when there's been difficulties, Bill has a kind word, a hug, whatever's needed. He can be tough, but generally he's not. He's a very nice man, and it's been a pleasure to know Bill.
Well, it's good afternoon now. My name is Jim Parkers from the Oxford Legion Post. I'm as a past commander. Bill himself was a past commander. Bill approached me Friday night and I says, Bill, what do you need, Bill? Whatever you need. He says, I need somebody to give me a speech. How long do you want it? You want a 3-hour speech or a short speech? And Bill said, make it short. So here I am. Took down a few notes about some of the things. I know a few things about Bill. He's told me that I can't mention here, but as we go on, it's kind of fun that I've known Bill for several years now through the American Legion and through the community, and a lot of the programs that Bill and the station have put on for the American Legion. As I said, I want to keep this as short as possible. I know that in the newspaper I read the article, Bill served in the United States Air Force, but Bill served in the band. Traveled around the United States with different programs and playing in that band. He enjoyed doing that in his time in the service. He plays golf with a good close friend of his, Cease Cameron. I couldn't go without mentioning Cease. Good buddy of his. They play golf. They attend things with the schools and cameras. And I don't know what Cease does. I think he just messes with the camera and messes things up for the guys over there. But they had a lot of fun doing that. They both greet guests at the American Legion on fish fries on Friday nights, and they help say hello. It's just a friendly thing to shake hands with people when they come in and help them sit down. And that's what Bill does. Shakes hands, says hello wherever possible. When they leave, he always says, have a great day and come back and see us again. And he started a program to improve the food service and quality and the menu variety at the Legion Post. And through Bill's efforts, several of us took the opportunity, and I think Bill went along. We traveled around different places, Richmond, some of the other posts within the area, and looked to see what they had for a menu, tried their food, and made things work, and possibly it turned out a lot better for everyone. Bill's a proud veteran who helps the Legion and veterans programs, and he's being honored with 3 American Legion awards from the state of Michigan, which is an honor to get those. And not only that, his station, I say his, the group, I would say that as a group that the people at OCA TV put on a lot of effort on every program they put out, and they've received 5 awards, and I know they hang up there in the station. And it's an honor for the American Legion to have been a part of that. For you guys to receive those awards, that's broadcast approximately across 1/3 of the state of Michigan. Also in the process of when Bill first became a commander, they have what they call a state commander's tour, and he comes to an area and tours the district. And Bill, I don't know if you remember this, but you grabbed a camera that day. He jumped on the bus and took a picture of outside of the Legion post in the district, every post within that district and inside. Made a video, and I submitted that video, and that's how Bill and the station first received that first award. So with that being said, the state of Michigan has a history person for every district that travels, and they've now made a disc on every one of these districts within the state of Michigan, so they have a record on hand what the post looks like, because a lot of these posts are folding because the veterans decline as we get older, and we lose several posts across the state of Michigan. But not only that, the VFW and the AMVETs do the same thing. They've jumped on the bandwagon and have a historian that makes an effort to have records like that on hand, so future generations can look back and see what we've done and what you've done, Bill, to make that happen. Bill's done several events with the group, and I know Terry and the gang, we participate in the Strawberry Festival. The Lone Ranger Parade is something new to us. We've been doing the Strawberry Festival for several years, and Shar back there was part of that. We've had a lot of fun doing a lot of these things in the area. The interviews that your stations put on with the veterans, much appreciated. I get comments from veterans that come in that have talked and been on camera up there with you guys, including myself, a lot of the things that you do, and including the history part of the Oakland Historical Museum. They had segments up there, and then again, you guys put another program on. Jack Leroy, most of you know him, retired police and fireman. You guys did the effort where Jack walked up and down Main Street in Oxford, and your cameraman was part of that. All those things are well appreciated. I throw this in as just something extra, a news flash from me. Bill loves to sing at the American Legion in karaoke, and I quote, his favorite song is New York, New York. If I could get you up here, I'd have you sing if we had a little music back, but we don't have that, Bill. I thought I'd put you on the spot. But it's one of his favorites. And I just thought it was an idea, maybe this could be a start for Oxford's own talent show. That's something you could look at as a group up there. We don't have that. We see talent programs on our TV, and I just thought that's just an idea, and I know he's going to run with this. He'll probably be the one singing it when the program starts. Enough said. He's a great guy with a big smile. And when you call his phone number, when you give Bill a buzz on the phone, it's going to say, and I quote, "This is Bill. Leave a message," and that's what he always says. With that, I'd like to say on behalf of the veterans and the resident from here from Oxford, thanks, Bill, for all that you do. God bless you.
Bill, as you see, all the love that everybody giving you, we think highly of you. So congratulations again from the Rotary.
How about that? Even after working with Bill for some 14 years, I've learned some good stuff about him that I didn't know about. Next, Russell Currier takes us to the grounds of a memory care facility ready to care for Oxford Village residents. Russell?
My ambassadors, my board members, also the friends and family that came out here to celebrate with you. We are very excited. My name is Nicole Sturrett. I am the Executive Director over at the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. We're excited to have here today Matt and Marie. They have this great new place coming into town. It's called Beehive Homes of Oxford. It's an assisted living and memory care home, and it's the first of 5 that will be coming to Oxford, correct? Correct. And it's also the first, the Beehive Homes is also the first in Michigan. So we're really excited that they chose Oxford, our community, as their place to call home. On behalf of the Oxford Chamber and our wonderful community, the Oxford community, would like to welcome you. Let's give them a round of applause. And if you'd like to say a few things.
Thank you all for coming. It means a lot to Marie and I. And on behalf of myself and Marie and our 5 children, Gordon, and we have Gretchen and Henry, Caroline, and Bridget on the end. We're very excited to be coming to the village of Oxford. This has been a couple of years in the making. Here today we're lucky enough to have Ty Harding from Beehive Corporate. Marie and I met Ty, and then also Mike Kingsley when we went out to the first corporate meeting for Beehive, and we just really had a connection. We were very intrigued and really liked Beehive. The company is in its 30th year, very stable growth, and the mission is really about service and taking care of its residents as the extended family. So when we met these guys, it was kind of one of those things that was meant to be. And with them as our mentors, we feel very confident that we're going to really succeed here in Oxford. So thank you all for coming.
We are very excited for you to be here. We are so excited that you're going to be part of our family here in Oxford. We're glad you chose the village of Oxford to start this great development. And I know the kids are excited. We're going to go ahead and do the groundbreaking ceremony, but the Oxford Chamber would like to give you the certification, pardon me, on behalf of the Oxford Chamber to welcome you to the community. So let's all go around behind these shovels. Everybody want to say it with me? 1, 2, 3. All right.
We did a thorough site search all the way from Dundee up to Oxford. There's a number of metrics that we use in terms of whether a community has a need for additional senior housing, and when we looked at all the different sites and communities, we really zeroed in on Oxford.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Thanks for joining us on another episode of our Community Access.